gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Yankees led last night 11-2, but it got to the point they had to bring in Mariano Rivera to get the final out. And with that catch by Teixeira, the Yankees broke their 3-game losing streak. Today, gray skies at Yankee Stadium, another baseball game. A good day to buy a hat. Maybe save that nice hair, you don't want to get it wet. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Cleveland Indians in the second game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees won last night 11-7, but a lot of action took place in the second inning, and it might have some effect off the remainder of the series. Curtis Granderson against Fausto Carmona hits one deep inside the right field foul pole, a long home run. Yankees liked it. Carmona didn't. He then hits the next batter, Mark Teixeira. Nobody likes getting it in the back above the waist, and that's what happened with Teixeira barking out at Carmona. The bench is cleared. The managers started barking at each other as well. Let's hear what happened.
Curtis hit that thing to Harlem. I mean, he crushed that ball, and I guess the next pitch he wanted to send some kind of message.
We've had 5 guys, 6 guys hit in the last 4 days. And if I was to say, and I can't tell you 100%, but if I was to say I thought one was intentional, that was tonight. And they're going to say he didn't hit him intentionally, but he pitched Tex away the whole night, and that one's up, behind in his rib cage in the middle of his back, and that bothers me.
I love it when Joe sticks up for us. Joe's the best, and I wouldn't want to mess with Joe. I think he's got 15 years on me, but I think he can still take me.
And when my guys are getting plunked, I'm going to protect them.
All right, so that begs the question, Paul. What does it mean when a manager stands up for you like that?
It's great. Obviously, Mark Teixeira touched on it, but, up here you kind of forget about what it's like in the heat of the battle. And as a player, even a manager can forget what it's like to be thrown at. So it's good to know that he's in the game, and a lot was built up in the Boston series to get to that point. The Yankees cannot back down every time somebody's hit.
All right, Kenny, how about you?
I can't think of any manager who likes to see his number 3 hitter rolling around in the dirt after being drilled by a pitch, especially one like Teixeira's been hot and carrying the ball club recently. And when the Cleveland Indians hit a batter like him, there has to be some kind of repercussion. I don't know if the Yankees are going to come back at them, but the main thing is you go out and win ball games. The Yankees won last night. I'm sure they're going to try and win the game first today.
All right, let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by the New York Lottery. Mitch Talbot is going to go for the Indians 2-2 with a 4.18, and the former Indian Bartolo Colon is going to go for the Yankees 4-3 with a 3.39 ERA. Jorge Posada has been one of the hottest Yankees over the last 4 games. In fact, he has been the hottest Yankee. Got up to a terrible start this year, but he's turned it on. We'll hear from Jorge and find out why next on segment 2. We're a couple of moments away from the Yankees and the Indians. Jorge Posada has been on fire. His last 4 games, 10 for 16. In fact, that's the most hits he's ever had over a 4-game stretch in his career, hitting .625 with 2 ribbies, and in 16 games since May 14th, the day he requested that day off against the Red Sox, he's hitting .327. So he has turned his season around. Our very own Kim Jones caught up with him after the game yesterday and asked him, what's up?
Just comfortable, you know, a little bit more comfortable. That's about it.
He's just had good at-bats. I thought he had good at-bats on our road trip, too. And he had some hits on the road trip. I thought he swung the bat well. He's been swinging the bat pretty well for the last couple of weeks, which is extremely important because, you know, he's a big part of our lineup.
You want to keep on producing and help out the team, and, you know, that's what I'm doing now.
He's also going to be the emergency backup catcher, but Bartolo Colon's hoping he doesn't need extra offense or an emergency backup catcher. He's facing his former team when we come back. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, next on Yes. Day here at Yankee Stadium. Let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup presented by Avis. This is the lineup that Bartolo Colon will face. Brantley in left, Cabrera at short, Sizemore in center. In the middle, it's Santana, Chu, and Laporta. And then in the bottom third, Phelps, Hanahan, and Marcy. Brantley's ready, so is Colon. Let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is up and away, and we are underway. Kind of a gray, dreary, kind of chilly, damp, dank day here at the stadium, but we're playing baseball, and there's strike one.
Threw the dank in. Kenny, did you hear that?
Yeah, dank.
That's never been in my weather report my whole life. Dank.
I think he pitches for the White Sox. Well, the plural of them. Let's take a look at the numbers on Bartolo Colon. 12 games, 9 starts, 4-3. Good numbers. 66 strikeouts, 17 walks in 71 2/3 innings. Opponents hitting .238 against him. And the 1-2. Foul back. Let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report, Paul.
Well, he's number 2. There's no doubt about it. He's been the Yankees' second best starter behind CC Sabathia. He's coming off a couple great games, including a complete game shutout. Don't walk this way. He has not walked a leadoff hitter all year. 75 innings and counting. Grady Sizemore, how's he get in the pitcher scouting report? Well, he was traded with Lee Stevens, Brandon Phillips, and Cliff Lee. So a big name trade for Bartolo Colon. Tim Drew back in 2002.
Expos,
yeah. Strike 3.
Let's make that 76, Mike. Don't walk this way. You like how I just put a little Aerosmith in there for you?
Love it. I mean, you could be on American Idol. Steven Tyler would be so impressed.
Yeah, good spillover fastball here. Watch this movement. Whoop. See ya.
Wow.
That was strike 3. Man, he made pitching look easy, doesn't he?
Tell you what, you throw mid-90s with movement, and you can get that kind of, you call it spillover or a front door, whatever you want to call it. That's nasty.
Like spilt milk.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. And the pitch is inside 1-0. Cabrera 9 hits in his last 34 at bats. He swings and misses. There was some talk that the Indians were going to sign Bartolo Colon, and he wanted to go back to Cleveland. That's where he began his career. But the Indians were worried that he's not a workout freak, to put it that way, that there was a chance that he wouldn't do his due diligence with his workouts and come into camp in shape. And you know what? It proved to be true, but they were wrong not to take the gamble. He came into Yankee camp admittedly 65 pounds overweight. Has not affected the way he's pitched at all. Swing and a miss.
And he's working right now.
Tell you what, you've heard of players coming into camp 10, 15 pounds, 65 pounds overweight. But you know what? It goes back to the old theory of David Wells, and just he's gifted with a good arm and knows how to throw strikes and get people out.
Take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Gardner, Granderson, Swisher left to right. That's in the outfield, infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, third to first, Cervelli behind the plate.
Saw Boomer before the game today. He looked great. He looked like he can go out there and give you at least 6 innings.
Probably tell you he could, too.
Yeah.
Here's Grady Sizemore. Grady 2 for 9. He's had 2 separate stints on the DL this year. He's one of the most popular players in Cleveland. One of the more popular items is young ladies in Cleveland wear Mrs. Sizemore jerseys.
How many are there?
The 1-0. Outside 2-0.
He's kind of changed his role with the Indians. He used to be one of the premier leadoff hitters in the league. Now he's been dropped down to the 3rd spot. Got 32 hits on the year, 21 of them for extra bases. Got 14 doubles and 7 home runs. So his role in the lineup has changed. And I think a lot of that has to do with all of his leg injuries. He doesn't steal as many bases. We talked about that last night. So now he's looking to produce runs in another way, drive them in.
We were talking last night about that alarming injury of a microfracture, and that's what he's trying to get through now.
Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Wow, look at that, Paul. It's dank.
Dank. I like that.
65 degrees, high humidity, wind 8 miles per hour. Possible thunderstorms. We should just keep that permanently in there.
You know what? Just let's erase that possible thunderstorm. That's not a good.
Yeah, I thought dank was something you found in a basement.
This feels like that.
I might want to clean his camera lens after taking that picture. Huh?
That might be one of the robotics.
You remember that towel that Georgie had in his pants last night? Just go ahead and grab your towel out.
It's an artistic shot. Pretty much says all you need to know. It screams out dank. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Well, you know, it's been noted through the Red Sox series the trouble that Cervelli had throwing, and then you talked about Sizemore being an ex-base stealer, and you can see right here, I mean, if he's not going to take advantage, especially with the 2 outs, and try to steal a base, then you know his legs aren't under it.
Another strike. Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, is in very good voice.
Well, he should have a workout today because most of Colon's strikeouts are called 3rd strikes with all that movement on the fastball. Santana's playing first base today. That's his 12th start at first base. And over the course of his career, that might help his legs.
I tell you what, it's almost like a day off when you're a catcher and you get out and go on the field.
Hard ground ball to second. Cano gobbles it up. And that'll be a strong first inning for Colon. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Indians nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. He's having a great time. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Bank of America. And this lineup is going to face Mitch Talbot, the captain. The shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira at first base. He'll hit third. Alex Rodriguez, a long home run yesterday. Third baseman cleans up. Batting fifth, playing second, Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher's in right field, no bat sixth. The number 7 hitter, DH Jorge Posada. Brett Gardner's in left field, hitting eighth, and Francisco Cervelli will catch. Will bat ninth. Derek Jeter's 9 hits away, and Talbot's going to try to keep him there. 5 starts for Talbot, 2-2. 36 hits in 28 innings. 19 strikeouts, bit too many walks. Opponents hitting over 300 against him. Let's take a look at the Jeet pitcher scouting report.
Well, he loves the road. He's pitched much better on the road. 2-0 with a .061 ERA in his last 2 road starts this season. Watch out early. I mean, guys hit him well early in the game. 425 off him the first time up. Then it goes way down after that. Kenny, how in the world did you sneak in?
How did that get into a scouting report?
I'm going to tell you, it's kind of like the birthday theme of last night. You celebrated your birthday.
Enough with birthday.
Mitch Talbot was born on October 17th, 1983. One day after Ken Singleton's Orioles won the World Series.
Oh, okay.
That one is chopped to third. Hanahan against Jeter. 1 out.
That was a fun day, I got to admit. Of course, that money's long since gone.
You know, the thing is, the Talbot family was really celebrating the birth of a child. And don't tell me you weren't really celebrating a World Series.
Yeah,
Isn't that the best day of the year?
You know what? You celebrate it for the rest of your life, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Here's Curtis Granderson. He started all the fun yesterday in the second inning with that home run. And he takes a pitch low. Granderson has 19 homers. Second in Major League Baseball to Jose Bautista. The 1-0. Chopped toward first. They'll test out Santana for the second out.
You're looking at Santana playing first base. Now, this is only his 12th start at first base. He made his Major League debut at first base on April the 3rd and started a triple play in his first game at first base. This is easy. I like it over here.
Santana showed his power last night. He threw a home run out in the right field bullpen. It didn't look like it was ever coming down.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Pitch is high. They had the shift on for Teixeira. Only the third baseman Hanahan on the left side.
But all kidding aside, when you have the ability to play first base as a catcher, I mean, day game after night game, play first base.
That's an easy way to get more at bats and still be able to catch the number of games. I mean, most catchers on days off obviously are on the bench, so it is a good opportunity for a team to keep a good hitter in the lineup.
Count 2-1.
You didn't hear that, Michael. That was a strike.
I heard it.
Did we mic him today?
No, that's just pure voice.
He's getting up in Jim Joyce territory. Talbot with some good movement on that pitch. Changeup.
You know, it's amazing. It's Talbot. I mean, he must be just hit or miss. Because, I mean, the more I looked into it, I mean, the first time I said guys hit 425 off. I mean, second time 326. After that, 156 if he gets late in the game.
2-2.
I think that shows you he either has it or he doesn't. You know, at the beginning of the game, if he doesn't, he's gone soon.
I loved your quote before the game. Tell my pass list to get here early, just in case. Huh?
The 3-2. And Teixeira walks. Let's check out the Indians' defense behind Talbot. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Brantley, Sizemore, and Chu left to right. Chu has a great arm, 8 outfield assists. Infield, Hanahan has Drupal Cabrera, Phelps, and Santana. That's third to first. Morrison behind the plate, and Talbot is on the mound. Well, Kenny actually got here very early today, had a tape measure, and measured the home run hit by Alex yesterday, and it measured out at 460 feet, 460.
If he hit that, that's going 480.
I kind of laughed at him today. I saw him in the locker room, and he kind of walked by, and I said, there's no way you can hit balls up by StubHub, and he actually had to grin. Wow. Funny thing is, there's somebody out there that 20 years from now is going to tell a story. I remember when Alex Rodriguez, I was sitting out way out there. Hit a ball out there.
Now that wall with the StubHub sign is actually 22 foot high. So not only is it 460, but it's 22 foot high. So if there's not a seat there, it probably travels 475 when it finally lands. 1-1.
You know what? You talk about that, Paul, but I remember going to the old Yankee Stadium as a kid, and Harmon Killebrew hit. I was sitting out in the left center field bleachers, and Harmon Killebrew hit one out there. And
that's when it was over 450.
It was
even farther.
This is a long cab ride.
So last night that ball wouldn't even have been close to going out.
It was 457, I think, to left center, and 461 to dead center.
Yeah.
So it would have hit off the wall or a monument. That's when the monuments are on the field. I have to have a reading from you, Paul, because the lights are on here. And the Yankees are Major League West 15-3 in day games, but the lights are on. So is this considered a day game? Because it looks like a night game.
It's a great day game. I mean, especially the hit, because you don't have the glare of the sun, but it's still, you have daylight also. I wouldn't consider it an ideal day for the ball to carry, though. It's kind of, I forgot, it's dank. It's not going to carry well.
Swing and a miss. Took something off that. And A-Rod way out in front. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. We played one here at the stadium. Yankees and the Indians. It's 0-0. On the field yesterday, and what'd you tell him?
My oldest.
What'd you say?
She said, "Daddy, I don't know if I've ever seen you that mad." And I told her, I said, you keep acting the way you do sometimes, you might see it again. She laughed and she giggled, but she asked me if that's the maddest I've ever been on the field, and I said no.
So my follow-up was, well, what was the maddest? He said, I'm sure that when I've gotten thrown out, I've been more angry. And he says he doesn't have anything against Manny Acta. He just got caught up in the moment. But you do wonder, because the kids know you as one way at home, and then you're on the field. I mean, how many kids get to see their mommy or daddy at work on TV? And so they get to see a different side. So Serena, his oldest daughter, said, "What up with that, Dad?" Did your kids ever question about the water cooler stuff, Paul?
Well, my wife did many times. Met me right at the door with, "What is wrong with you?" Because the kids do watch the game sometimes, and believe me, when you're out on the field, your family life, your home life, it doesn't come into play. You just react to certain things. And I think we all have a side that we have at home and a side that we have out on the baseball field.
Kenny, you were always super chill, though, even when you played, right?
No. I didn't like losing. I didn't like losing ball games. But I was able to turn it off. Once you know, you get showered up, change your clothes, you head into the car, you meet the family. All right, let's do something else.
I tell you what, though, there are times that, you know, it's like one of those weekends your wife has all the family and the friends and everybody's in town.
Ground ball to Cano, he's going to get chewed.
And, you know, you're 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts and you lost 4-0 and you go home and you got to be happy and act like you're glad to see everybody. Now, come on.
It's his last pitch.
Oh, his necklace went flying. There it is, hanging right there.
Beads all over the mat.
Well, it's such a cold day, there'll be no beads of sweat, so these are the only beads he's going to have. There's Matt Laporta. It really is hard to fathom. It's June 11th, and it's kind of chilly. And a couple of days ago, first pitch temperature was 90, and then it was 100 during the day. Strike.
You know, a lot of major league players come out of good college programs. Laporta did. University of Florida. He's got to be happy today. They beat Mississippi State and won the Super Regionals. His best 2 out of 3. Get to go to College World Series. So, former Florida alum is very happy. He's the all-time leader in home runs in school history. 74 home runs in college.
I had a couple singles. Here's the 2-1. Counted to third. 2 away.
As much as we laugh,
but they came at the right time.
Say, if you had a single in college.
Not on the baseball field.
Okay.
No. He meant he was single in college.
I was going to be impressed with one hit. I'll tell you what, Michael, I hate to say it, but after your baby picture was up on the screen the other day, I could see why you were a good student.
Oh.
But you've really blossomed. I will give you that. You've really blossomed.
That's a compliment?
I don't know. Nick Swisher came up to me yesterday because they put a baby picture up on the scoreboard, baby bombers they call it, and Nick Swisher in his Nick Swisher way goes, "Dude, you're a late bloomer." There it is. Real thrilled about that.
This guy right here, that's my hand. I had more fun with that picture than anybody in the ballpark.
Fouled away.
We were just glad we could be part of that. Right?
Yeah. We're talking about Laporta. Now Phelps went to Stanford. And he's not as happy today. They lost to North Carolina.
Carolina took care of them yesterday. That's funny how big the College World Series has become, because I remember growing up watching Major League Baseball game. I knew nothing about college baseball. You can turn on TV and watch the games now.
High drive, right center, but this weather's going to hold up any long fly ball. Is going to have to really crush it as Phelps flies out. 1-2-3 inning for Cologne. We'll go to the bottom of the second. to getdunkd.com. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Call 1-800-XFINITY to learn more. There's that camera shot that Paul loves so much. Little guy said, I don't need this poncho. I'm all right with the rain. Not a big deal. Put the hat on, ready to go. Let's roll. Guarding against the elements. Those poncho sales go up if there's like a drop of rain here. Here's Robinson Cano, who's reached base safely in all 18 day games this season. And there's a strike from Talbot.
I've seen Talbot throw in person. It seems like he's studying what Cologne's doing out there, using his sinker, keeping it in, keeping it away, keeping it moving.
He had a couple of starts against the Yankees last year, and he lost to them, and another one he had a no decision. And that no decision game, the Yankees won that one. That was in Cleveland. And Talbot had to leave early, had a back strain, had to leave the game in the second inning. The Yankees ended up winning 11-4.
He's had a few arm problems this year. That's why he has had limited starts. And one of them came, he had a complete game in Anaheim early in the year and had some arm problems right after that. So a guy that, you love to have in the rotation, but you got to keep an eye on pitch-wise. Uh-oh, that must have got one of the police officers over here.
Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. I wonder if it just missed him or if it did clip him, but he did go down the steps. Let's hope he's okay. Well, there goes that police escort for Robbie after the game.
I was just going to say, these guys help you out around here.
They're great. They're all so great. And they go above and beyond. And well, there's a thumbs up that he's okay.
Maybe he had a vest on.
There he is. He's back. And he gets a nice hand.
And a smile.
There's the ball.
Had to go pick it out of his neck. It got implanted.
Inside 2-2.
You can see where Talbot relies on movement of his pitches. He's not really overpowering, so everything has to. He's got a good changeup. We've seen some good movement on that. Throws a cutter, keeps that inside sinker away. Can't stay in the same area too long.
See that last pitch he was trying to throw in, and it's straight and go back at it. And that's the pitch that Cologne is having so much success with right now. If you can't throw it for strikes as a hitter, you know the guy can't come in and throw strikes. Boy, the outside part of the plate becomes kind of the area that you're going to look for. Shook off the inside fastball, and the breaking ball went away.
So Cano works a walk. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Here's Nick Swisher. Nick's RBI numbers not terrible, but he certainly doesn't feel as if he's a 216 hitter. Last year he had one of the best years of his career. He's obviously disappointed with those numbers. We're trying to hang in there and fight his way back. There's a strike.
Well, the Yankees offense, we know it's been primarily home runs. They've scored 49% of their runs on homers. They're third from the bottom in hits. last in singles. And singles are the type of hits, they're like walks. They fuel innings. You know,
Well, these are the largest declines in batting average this year. Alex Rios is really taking a dip. Then there's Swisher, Chu, and Kenny told me something about Ichiro today that it was hard to believe. That they benched him yesterday. This guy who plays every day, and they just sat him down. Eric Wedge, manager of the Mariners.
250 or 60 consecutive games.
Yeah.
And Kenny, you noticed, and I noticed when they showed him on the bench, he didn't look too happy.
No, he didn't.
And there's two schools of thought when you're slumping: play out of it, or give you a day or two off. And you could really get people to defend either side. The Mets are going through this right now.
Yeah.
Jason Bates can't hit, so they have sat him down for 2 days. And their former hitting coach Howard Johnson said that's not a good idea. So what was best for you with the slump?
Well, I think that as you got older, the manager Joe Torre would call you in and trust your decision. I think when you're a young player, obviously the manager will make the decision for you. But to me, looking at Jason Bay, I mean, they're in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
That's the ballpark, the city that he hit the best in his whole career, basically. So I would hope that to get him back out there and have a little incentive to play where he used to play. I think I agree with Howard Johnson. Good place for him to be playing.
Brantley is there, and he puts it away to retire. Swish, what did you like, Kenny, to sit or to play through it?
I wanted to play, and I had one of the worst slumps I ever had. Earl Weaver asked me if I wanted to come out of the lineup, and I said no. Because knowing if somebody got 2 hits, then they're going to play again tomorrow.
They were going to Wally Pip you?
Yeah, so eventually I came out of it, and that was the year, Michael, I know I've mentioned this before, I was hitting 185 on June the 2nd, and eventually I came back and actually led the team in hitting.
Wow.
I think I hit 330 from that point on. So don't ever come out of the lineup.
185 in June?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I got hot from that point.
I'd say.
Here's Posada. That one's grounded to first. There's one. Back to first. It's a double play. So Posada banks into a 3-6-3 double play. We played 2 here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. There's no score. Yankees in the Tribe. A lot of zeros there. So we go to the 3rd inning. Jack Hanahan will lead off against Bartolo Colon. Colon started with Cleveland, as we mentioned. 75 and 45 was his record with a 3.92 ERA in 162 games for them, 160 starts. There's a strike.
that wind there. Wow, it's really whipping through here today. The year that Cleveland traded Cologne to Montreal, Paul talked about it before, they got a boatload of players. But Cologne had won 10 games for the Indians. Then they traded to Montreal. In the second half of the year, he won 10 games for Montreal. Right. And yeah, it was a 20-game winner that year.
Like 10-1 or 10-0 for Montreal, wasn't it?
And the thing about it, he was about to make the All-Star team with Cleveland, and he was going to get a $100,000 bonus for making the All-Star team. Well, the Indians traded him. He didn't get the bonus because he didn't make the team. He didn't make the National League team.
You know, that's so weird now with interleague play that I almost think, well, many people will disagree with me, of course, but I almost think that there should be one MVP, one batting champion, one Cy Young Award winner, because you've got games between the two leagues. That one's popped up to center field, and Canahan is retired. Hey, it's time for the GE Capital Partner Play. Great partnerships are built on trusted GE Capital. We prove that every day.
Santana looked very adept at playing first base. Nice throw to Cabrera. Then he gets back to the bag. There's the throw, and whoop, a little bit of a slip there. At the first base must be a little dank.
Yeah, that's a little drizzle on top of the base, and they do become slippery.
You know, there's such a debate, and it goes on in baseball, especially in the National League. If one of your best hitters is your catcher, that means that 2 times a week he's not going to play, because in the National League there's no DH. Also, the wear and tear on a catcher, you're almost shortening his career. And I know there's talk in Minnesota. What do we do with Joe Mauer? His body is breaking down now. He has an 8-year contract. When do we move him? And Buster Posey, he's one of the best players the Giants have. He hurt himself in that home plate collision. You know, now there's talk, do you want him behind the plate, or do you want to keep his bat in? Same thing with Carlos Santana. What do you do? Is he better at first base so you can keep his bat in the game? And I remember when the Mets had Mike Piazza. As Morrison goes down looking, twice a week they lost their best player. So what do you do if your best hitter is a catcher?
It's almost as if it helps you if you can teach him to play another position. I'll tell you what, Santana looks pretty good at first to me. And you start a triple play the first game you're over there.
Well, he just turned that's the hardest play for a first baseman, is that second back to first, and he did it very easily.
Michael Brantley struck out looking in the first inning. 3 strikeouts for Cologne. And there's a line drive, base hit, second baseman Mike Milchinski had to get out of the way. A base hit for Brantley with 2 outs. First hit of the game for either team.
Watch the umpire just at the top of your screen there.
The only problem is when you hit a ball that way, it's hooking towards right field. He's running right into the hook. Got to go the other way.
Low bridge.
Michael Brantley is a dad, former big league player, Nicky Brantley.
Yeah, with Seattle. I think there's no thing that's more embarrassing for an umpire than feeling you hit with a ball.
Yeah, and fans watching, if it does happen, obviously it's a base hit. And there's numerous times where you'll see umpires, especially now you see with men on base, the second base umpire right here in the middle of the field. Line drives, very hard to get out of the way, but they end up being base hits if you drill the guy.
Did you take great pleasure in that ball?
I did it once in the minor leagues, but I didn't take great pleasure. You know why? Because it was a ground rule single. There was bases loaded. I got 1 RBI. It should have been 2 RBI. So I'm still mad at the umpire.
Didn't hurt you from getting to the big leagues.
Very tough to steal on Cologne. He's got a quick move for a right-hander to first base. Doesn't have a real high leg kick.
It was Mark Reynolds stole a base in Baltimore against him. That broke the string for Cologne. A lot of innings, no steals.
Oh, nice play by Teixeira. He'll step on the bag out of it. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 2.5 here at Yankee Stadium. Indians nothing, and the Yankees nothing as Teixeira flashing a little leather. Zoom by 1800 Tequila and by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Kind of a steady drizzle here at the stadium, and it seems like it's moving from right field to left field, almost falling sideways, if that makes sense. But they will play through this as Brett Gardner digs in. Lincoln scoreboard, zeros, except for the one hit by the Indians by Michael Brandt. Gardner 7 hits in his last 17 at bats as Talbot deals, and there's a strike. That's a bunt. It's a beauty. It's a base hit.
Good day to bunt. The grass is a little wet. Ball's going to die quickly. And Brett Gardner's got the good speed. This is beautifully done.
I'll tell you what, any day's a good day for Brett Gardner to bunt with his speed. And I think we saw the last night when he got on base, he ran early in the count. Very important for him to get confidence of running early in the count where guys can take a pitch, let him steal a base, allow him to score a lot more runs for this Yankee offense.
Well, with his speed, Cervelli hits the ball well to the opposite field.
Cervelli has to know that. Out of the corner of his eye, the first couple pitches, he has to see if Gardner's going. And if he is going, you've got to take that pitch.
Or if he's, as you said, Paul, if he goes early in the count, steals second, then Cervelli hit the ball the other way, get him to third. He'll build a run.
Cervelli in these situations sometimes likes to bunt on his own.
Which to me is kind of a waste because you're taking away one of the strengths of this team, and that's Brett Gardner's speed, being able to steal second base.
Numbers are not great for him with speed like that. 13 stolen bases in 20 tries. He's better than 65%.
Yeah, he has been improving though, because at one time I think he was below 500.
He got 2 bases yesterday where they didn't even throw, so that helped his percentage a bit.
Needs more of that. With the guy who steals a lot of bases like Gardner does, you get thrown out early in the season a few times, maybe your confidence takes a little bit of a hit. You know, then you got to get it back. You got to get back up on that horse and go. See, the rare times we ever threw out Ricky Henderson, he got on first base and he was going again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're good at something, you have to continue to do it. I mean, Joe Girardi has got Brett Gardner on his own. Means that when you get a jump, I want you to go. I always liked, the first time they threw over to Brett Gardner, if he's not going, I would like to get an extra step that next pitch and make that pitcher throw over again. The pitchers don't like to keep going over there, and after you get consecutive balls over there, I always felt like I could get a good jump because I didn't think he was coming over there 3 times.
Actually helps the hitter too, provides his concentration. He was going.
Gardner's career percentage is 81.8%, and that's 9th best amongst active players.
Watch the footwork there. Yep.
That's the difference in a base steal. If I'm stealing bases and I get caught leaning, I'm out. Brett Gardner's quick enough to still get back, even though he was leaning.
He does have a good lead.
There he goes. Pitch out. Go to second. They get 2 pitch outs in a row, the Indians. And Joe Girardi's going to go out and argue with Mike Molchinski.
Great thing is we're going to see a replay and
watch the left hand.
Yeah, I think that he kind of held back to get that hand in.
So the Indians smell it out. They have the pitch out on again. Watch his left hand. He pulls the hand back, and it looks like they might have missed the tag. Watch him. Puts the hand out, pulls it back. The swipe.
I think he's still out.
Yeah,
I think he
got him in
on
the
the
chest.
chest before the hand hit.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you needed to get this arm to the outside of the bag. That's what happened when he pulled that arm back. This arm right here has to touch the bag.
The right
see
hand.
it. Yeah, the
he
right
would have been
hand
safe.
slid by.
Yeah, he would have been safe. It's the old swim move. Put it there, pull it back, and then put the other hand in there.
So the count 2-1 with the 2 pitch outs. Pitch outside. Let's check it out on a Coors Light freeze can. The swim move. And you can see the tag there as we freeze it right before the left hand will touch the bat.
Yeah. Right hand touches it, he's in there.
Shattered bat. Shard goes one way, ball goes another.
Somebody can get an autograph.
It says Francisco Cervelli on. It's the best part of the bat for a fan.
Well, you remember when you get your first bat contract?
That was cool.
That was big.
What's funny is that they send you the contract with the little box to put your signature in, and you take a lot of time because you know that signature you put in that little box is going to end up being burned into that wood
forever.
Yeah, and they don't change it. Once you do it, that's your label.
3-2. Strike 3. Cervelli down looking.
The signature I put on that bat was better than anyone I've ever signed.
That bat was cracked too. Oh, that's the same. Oh, that's the bat boy. I'm sorry. So Talbot's looked pretty good. Usually struggles a little early, but he's come out strong. And here's Derek Jeter grounded out to third in the first. Here's Gardner explaining what he did at first base. Or at second. Derek has a 6-game hitting streak, 9 hits shy of 3,000. A certain amount of symmetry here with the Indians in town. Their pitching coach Tim Belcher not only surrendered Derek's first hit, which was on May 30th of '95 against the Mariners, but also a second hit later in that game. I'm sure Derek Meyer is starting to count down right then. Joe Girardi was asked today, would you have any advice for Derek? He said, all I would tell him is to try to enjoy the journey. He goes, I think that's hard for Derek to do. He said, I have not had that conversation with him, but as he gets a little bit closer, he said, take it all in. He said, this is very special. Not that many people do this.
It's so amazing to me with the greatest players in the world that have played with the Yankees that he'll be the first guy with 3,000 hits as a New York Yankee.
Swing and a miss as Jeter down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 3 full at the stadium. There's no score on yes. off against Bartolo Colon. Each team with a hit. Neither team has scored a run. Sizemore, Santana, and Chu. Sizemore jumps on the first pitch and pops it up sky high into the overcast sky, and the wind takes it. And there's one away. Hey, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Orlando Cabrera is one of 2 major leaguers to play in the postseason for 4 different teams in the last 4 years. Who's the other? I know the answer to this one. This one I know. Yesterday you knew it, Paul. You know it?
I haven't given it much thought to. You just read the thing to me. Can I have like a 60-second like buzzer or something?
They don't give you that on Jeopardy, do they?
Yeah, they give you a little time. At least I got time to like scribble out an answer or something.
That's in Final Jeopardy.
You're watching the wrong shows, bro. I'll tell you that.
That's a great show. I think it's been on forever.
That one is popped up. Cervelli trying to dance around the home plate umpire, but it's out of play.
Looking at each other. Dancing with the Stars broke out behind home plate. Watch this. It looked like he's trying to cover a wide receiver.
Pass interference.
Iasonia has better moves than Terrell Regas. He's a shutdown up. Iasonia Island. The 1-1. Another pop-up. Yep, piercing the sky with these. As Jeter puts it away. This looks like it's a tough day to catch those pop-ups.
Well, the thing is Colon has been so good with that ball inside coming back. You know, the Indian hitters, and you watch Santana on this swing, is looking for it. He's opening up, still can't get to it. That ball's up a little bit. That was a pretty hittable pitch, but he's been so good at running that ball back over the inside corner.
The wind and the mist. This is one of those days of the.
That didn't hit the deep part of the pocket there. You see that?
So they played misty for me.
Here's a Home Depot scouting report on Shin-Soo Choo.
Well, on bounce back, I mean, the Cleveland Indians are looking for him to try to bounce back. Came into the game hitting .237 on 3 consecutive 300 seasons coming into the year. He's an all-around player. We saw last night some of the throws he's had defensively. He just knows how to play the game. And Indians hope. You know, you look at Grady Sizemore and Chu and getting Hafner back. Without their offense, this team has no chance to stay in the race here.
They got some strong left-handed hitters in this team, though. You got Hafner and Sizemore and Cabrera, who's a switch hitter. Santana's a switch hitter. And Chu.
Well, if Jabba Chamberlain wants to feel good about his impending surgery on Thursday for Tommy John surgery, I was reading a story where Chu has been clocked throwing 95 miles an hour as a right fielder, and 5 years ago he underwent Tommy John surgery. So that's a surgery that they have pretty much perfected, and you do come back from it. Just take some time. The dedication to rehab, which I'm sure Jabba will do. The 2-2. High fly ball, right field. Swisher makes the play. A 10-pitch inning for Bartolo Colon. A little dancing with the stars here in the Bronx. Who's going to get that ugly disco ball award? two major leaguers to play in the postseason for 4 different teams in the last 4 years. Who's the other? It's the good luck charm, Eric Ginsky.
Yeah, he's on your team. You're going to the postseason.
There's a strike to Granderson. Eric Ginsky made the postseason with the Red Sox, Rays, Yankees, and the Braves. Cabrera, Angels, White Sox, Twins, and the Reds.
You know, I was going to guess Coney when he was traded to all those teams.
No, but it's the last 4 years.
Last 4 years.
Okay.
Coney might have been to the postseason, but he had to buy a ticket.
Right.
Time for the Toyota Text Poll. Today's question is, which of these players do you think is the best shortstop under the age of 30? Text your vote to 58772. Here are your choices. We'll give you another chance to look at that. That's just not fair how quick that was up there. Starlin Castro of the Cubs, Cabrera, Hanley Ramirez, Jose Reyes, or Troy Tulowitzki. Text us at 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply.
This is like a great test question, Kenny, because you can't get it wrong because it's just an opinion. Right? They can't like mark it wrong because you pick one of them.
I think I know who I like though. They're all good.
That one's popped up. It's a tester.
This is a tester.
Passed. If you need some numbers to back up your choices, here they are. Reyes is playing out of his mind this year as he's a free agent to be. Tulowitzki just signed that long-term contract. Hanley Ramirez has been really, really struggling this year. And Castro on a bad team doing well. Cabrera also doing well. And here's A-Rod.
Reyes is a free agent at the end of the year,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's a big decision there.
That one's drilled deep to left center field. Doesn't have the height. See ya! Home run, Alex Rodriguez. A bullet into the Indians bullpen. First run of the game. Yankees up 1-0.
That's kind of the opposite of the home run he hit last night. Last night was a long, majestic, high fly ball deep to left center. This got out of here in an eye blink. A rocket. Bam.
Same sound as the one last night. Michael, you see Alex Rodriguez running down first base, and the way you called it is, does it have enough height? That's exactly why he was running. It could have gone off the top of the wall for a double.
It might have gone through the wall.
Through the wall. I've ever seen anybody win it after a home run. He just jogged around the bases. A-Rod looked a little tired there.
I see adrenaline. Rush. What have I done? 6:26.
Creeping up on Ken Griffey Jr.
Get a little hot with the home run stroke. After a while, it's like taking those vitamins, one a day.
So the first run of the game, 1-0.
Brett Gardner sitting right next to him. Like, I hope you're having fun. Well, you know you were a home run hitter, but you had to sit by Eddie Murray sometimes and just look over and think, man, it must be fun to be in your shoes for a while.
Yeah, I used to tell Eddie, it's your league. We're just playing in it. I got it here so quick. Michael almost couldn't get the out. It's just C.
That was a bullet. Pitch is high. Lights have been on all day from the very first pitch. A steady mist surrounding the stadium and blowing through.
I think they did a survey. They always radar guns and how hard the pitchers are throwing. I think they had a survey recently on which hitters hit the ball the hardest. The ball comes off their bats the quickest. And I think Jose Bautista was on that list. Nelson Cruz, Josh Hamilton was up there. I think he hits the ball harder than anybody. And A-Rod's up there too. Hamilton, when he hits the ball, it's like it's effortless swing. The ball just zooms.
That one zoomed off the glove of Phelps. That's going to be an error.
This is Phelps' third day in the big leagues, and you know, anytime you do something, it can be your major league first. It's his first major league error off the heel of the glove. Ball had a little extra hop to it.
I know one thing, and you don't see it. Usually, you can see a guy miss a ball. That ball blew out into center field.
Cano hit that ball pretty well. That's why it had that little extra zip to that last hop.
Here's Nick Swisher. Count 1-0. Ground ball to Santana, and that will do it as he steps on the bag. Yankees get a run. They take the lead on Alex Rodriguez's home run. But this one, he couldn't style. He had a hustle out of the box. But by the end of the run, it was just a job. Yankees lead 1-0, top of the fifth, and Bartolo Colon is dealing, and he deals a strike to Matt Laporta. Yankees are 27-11 this year when they score first. So a stat on the positive side for this 1-0 lead.
Positive thing is Bartolo Colon. I mean, he's had great control. He really hasn't gotten past anything but other than throwing a good movement on his fastball. He's just working both sides of the plate.
High fly ball, fairly deep left. Gardner will put it away for the first out. Hey, visit your local Lowe's to cast your MLB All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the All-Star game. Compliments of Scott's. Windshield wiper working.
I think he's doing pretty well in that voting, from what I understood last time we had that talk.
Plenty of time to vote. Here's Cord Phelps, got his first big league hit yesterday, first big league error in the previous half inning.
As well, getting rid of everything in the first week or so, right, Kevin?
I don't know. It took me about a week to get a hit. Went 0 for 11.
Funny how they, your first concern when you come up is to get rid of that, get your first hit, and then all of a sudden you get greedy. You want your first home run, you want your first RBI, you want your first extra base hit.
I got my first hit and home run the first hit in that game. I got a base hit, then hit a home run later.
Really?
I was off and running.
That's nice.
How about the guys that break in, hit the home run on the first pitch?
Yeah.
You probably think it's going to be easy. The 0-2 inside.
Didn't Flash get he's mentioned this, a double his first time out? I think he did. Rip one over the bag at third.
I know one thing, we're thinking about it. Flash can bring it up in a heartbeat because you don't forget.
No,
you forget your first hit. There's no way. Yeah, Al Leiter and I were talking the other night. Another important thing with the draft that has just passed. I mean, you can remember where you are, what kind of day, everything when you were first drafted. I mean, it's another special time in your life as a baseball player.
Ground ball to first. And Teixeira beats him to the bag. Hey, this moment in Yankee history brought to you by Johnny Walker. June 11th, 1961, Roger Maris hits 2 home runs in the second game of a doubleheader in a 5-1 win against the Angels. Command greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, if I remember back to that summer, this is about the time of year we started to really heat up and started making assault on the Babe Ruth record.
I mean, and we talked about it the other day. That was his 18th and 19th. I mean, Granderson and Teixeira are on those numbers, but so it just shows you how hot he got. It's 61.
Driven to deep left, going back is Gardner. He can't make the play, and it bounces over the wall for a double.
That ball was more of a line drive as well, and that's the only way I believe you're going to get the ball out left field today, or over an outfielder's head, because the high fly balls are not going to go. Laporta hit his ball very well. In normal days, that would have been a home run, but this is a line drive, and it's going to carry over the head of Gardner, one hop off the warning track into the seats. We saw A-Rod's ball. That was a line drive home run. And Hanahan with a line drive double.
Grounded to Cano, he went one way, changed gears, made the dive and made the play to retire Marson. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Quick move to the right, then a dive to the left. End of the inning. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 1.
Express, enjoy the journey. The Yankees in against Cleveland as they round out this series tomorrow, 1:05 here on Yes. Then a night game on Monday, wraparound series, and the Texas Rangers coming to town. My 9, Yes and Yes, before the Yankees hit the road, head for Chicago. But instead of the south side, they're going to the north side, Wrigley Field, to take on the Cubbies.
Now, one thing we want to remind everybody, Saturday's game is on Fox and Sundays is on ESPN. And if Derek does not pick up his 3,000th hit, you can rest assured that we're going to have post games after Saturday's game in Chicago and Sundays as well. Whether he gets that hit or not, we always have a post game after every game. So just turn to Yes right after the final out. Posada leads off. Now, Posada's 1-0. He's been red hot. And he said yesterday, he was talking to Kim Jones, and he said, you know, I feel comfortable in the box. And it never ceases to amaze me. He's 39 years old. And I guess there's times that you just don't feel comfortable in the box.
I'll tell you one thing. You pointed out numerous times that he just got over the 200 mark. So that's the uncomfortable thing about it. I don't care how you feel at the plate. If you look up at that scoreboard and you have a tendency to as a hitter, and you see that number 180, 179, it's very uncomfortable. And it's a big hole to dig out. Lately, Georgie swung the bat the last week or so as good as he has all year.
He was asked about looking up, and is it better to, you know, see that you're over 200? And he said, I don't look up.
Yeah, sure he does. Come on, Georgie.
Now, I'll tell you one thing, though. At this ballpark, the average is a lot smaller. At the other ballpark, it was in center field, and it was about 3 stories high. But here it's in left center, and yet that pretty good eyesight to see that you're hitting 214.
You know, it's a horrible thing, but I hate to tell you, when you look up at that board and you're having a great year, I mean, it's like your self-worth meter. Can you know what I'm saying? When you look up there and things are going well, it's like, wow, you feel pretty good about yourself.
Taking that ball, a high pop up, 1 away.
Charlie Hayes used to scream in stretching, and you know, Charlie had a great sense of humor, and he said, I don't care what that board says, I'm hitting 330 in my mind.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cabrera, it looked like he called for it first, but then gave way to Hanahan at third base. It's okay, you take it. Yeah, you're right, Paul. You look up at the scoreboard, you're hitting 3-something, you get in the box, you figure everybody in the ballpark knows I'm a 300 hitter. You drop it, you know, you got a few home runs, runs batted in to go with it.
The 1-0. There's a strike.
No, when things were going bad, you didn't have to look up the scoreboard, because that was Mike McKay's job as a writer to kind of
point it out,
slide me over to your locker and remind you that you were 0 for 20 or 0 for 22.
See, but you're so weak. I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, I dropped a week on
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you why. Because when you were hitting 400, you didn't like anybody to come over to your locker. You just didn't want visitors.
You know what? You remember that year? And I said, it was like May 10th or something. I was hitting 400. And I said, you know what? Jokingly, I said, you know what? If I'm hitting 400 in June, come back and see me. And it just so happened I stayed hot. And June 1st, I'll be darned, I went to the ballpark, and all of you were sitting there right by my locker.
All right. And you hated us.
I didn't hate you. I just hated talking.
So how long did the 400 last?
Not long enough. It would have been great to get into September. But after I started talking about it with the press, it was gone.
You can imagine how Ted Williams felt.
Wow.
Because he did it all year.
Yeah.
That one is lined into right center field. That is going to be a base hit. Off to the races is Brett Gardner, but he catches a bad break as the ball bounces into the Yankee bullpen. It would have easily been a triple. He was on his way, but it hit the turf and then out into the bullpen.
You know, I talked about this the other day with Nunez and his ability to run, and the same with Gardner. One of the best things you come to a ball game and you see these guys hit a triple, it's some of the best entertainment you're going to have, because these guys can fly. Now, the only thing that keeps him from getting a triple is a ball bounds into the bullpen, and he has to go back to second. I mean, you have to let out the drag shoot to slow him down.
Yeah, it's such a different perspective. Brett Gardner hits one in the gap, and he just can't wait and very disappointed if the ball bounces over. And then you get like a catcher or Hay or somebody that bounces over, and it's like, almost thank you. I can kind of just jog for my double. So I tell you when that play really hurts you is with a men in scoring position, guy on first. You know, because he's going to score, 90% of the time when you hit a double into the gap, and they send him back.
Steal third base. He did last night, didn't he?
Here's Cervelli, who struck out looking in the third inning. And this is when you would want to steal third with one out. That's when it's worth taking the chance. Cervelli has caught all the games in this homestand because of the injury to Russell Martin. His back is bothering him day to day. And Joe Girardi was asked, are you concerned if you have to catch Cervelli 6, 7, 8 days in a row? And Joe just looked and said, he's pretty young. We used to do that all the time. He said, so I don't think he's going to wear it down. Now, Posada is the emergency catcher, and Girardi has spoken with Jorge and told him, just in case, be ready.
I don't know about you, Michael, but I think the fans would really get a kick out of seeing Jorge, even if it's for an inning or something, come out and catch an inning.
I think they would. I think he'd get a kick out of it. If he's physically ready.
Right.
Because he didn't catch in a game in spring training. Hasn't been working out as a catcher. There's a different leg strength. Runner goes. And Talbot stepped off the mound and fired to Hanahan. And they get Gardner. So he gets caught stealing for the second time today.
Talbot guesses right. And Gardner's an easy out. Tagged out by Hanahan.
Little spin move. It doesn't work very often, but with a base stealer, Brett Gardner, from his angle, it looks like the pitcher's going home. He had a great jump. Just so happened that he spun back.
So he has 13 steals and been caught 9 times, and that's, I mean, with his speed, that's just not acceptable, and he knows it. Ground ball short. Cabrera, high throw. Oh, what a nice play by Santana. Came off the bag and tagged Cervelli on the way by. Saved his shortstop in error. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Goes up to get it, and then the swipe tag, and he tags Cervelli on the way by. Good call. That's right. Tomorrow, June 12th, Yankees will take on the Indians, and it's bat day. The first 10,000 guests, 14 and younger, receive a Mark Teixeira bat, courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. 3 straight 10-pitch innings for Bartolo Colon. And Brantley takes a strike.
It's amazing, Kenny, how, I mean, it just goes to show you good command of a good fastball. I mean, we've seen nothing but, and he's been so successful. No reason to mix in anything else. He's got great movement, great velocity.
I don't think I've seen a breaking ball today. One thing he does, he keeps the ball out of the middle of the plate. And when he's off, his control is off of his fastball. That's how he gets hit. But today, so far, he's been either right on the corner or just off of it on both sides.
You've seen the 4-seamer out here, and you've seen that 2-seamer run back in here, and it's just unbelievable the control he's had today.
High fly ball. Granderson makes the play. Boy, the wind is really wreaking havoc right now. If you look at the flags, at the beginning of the game, the wind was 8 miles per hour. I'd say it has at least doubled as the flags are starting straight out in. So the only way you're going to get a ball out is the way Alex did, a low line drive that won't be affected by the wind. But these high pop-ups, you see the fielders dancing underneath trying to get a beat on it. Here is Asdrubal Cabrera. Asdrubal is the only Asdrubal in the history of Major League Baseball. And did you know that, Paul, you actually played with the only 2 players in the history of baseball with the name Mariano? Mariano Duncan and Mariano Rivera, both on the 96 team.
Well, that's not a very, I mean, that's not an uncommon name like Asdrubal. That's surprising.
There we go, right on the corner.
95 on the corner. From a scouting report, as a hitter, you think he's 95 on the corner. That's a tough pitch to hit.
It sounds like a hot day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I was growing up in the Bronx when you were hanging out on the corner. You were going to get in trouble, not him. He wants to be hanging out on the corner.
Wow. No Spo's hat.
That's old school.
Yeah, it is.
Strike 3. Cabrera down looking.
I'm telling you what, I mean, we keep talking about it. You cannot overemphasize how good his control's been. I mean, these balls, he's just painting inside, outside.
Right on the corner. You know, we saw that Expos hat, and if you look at the logo here, you can see a little C and a little B here. And the owner of the Expos, although that stands, it's an M for Montreal, the owner of the Expos was Charles Brofman, who was the owner of Seagram's, and he wanted his own initials in the logo, and you can see a little C and a little B incorporated in the M.
Love that eagle.
Cool.
That's nice. That's an eagle.
See, I thought that was an Expo for an E. No. It's a little C.
Charles Brofman.
I'd like to buy the team.
The Casters running out there every day, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
The Montreal Casters.
That would satisfy my massive ego.
You'd have a heck of a pitching staff, too. A lot of Ks.
A lot of Ks.
Yeah. We had some pretty good pitchers over the years. They had Pedro for a while. Dennis Martinez.
They traded him for Delino DeShields.
Steve Rogers was on that team.
Tell you what, that was like the ultimate AAA team in there for a while. They had unbelievable players, and as soon as they got to the money time of their careers, they were shipped off. John Wetland, Pedro Martinez, Larry Walker.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Boy, is Colon dealing. Just 72 pitches over 6 innings. He's been outstanding. And the Yankees have given him 1 run. He leads 1-0.
With Michael Kay for an all-new GMC Presents Center Stage. The Brooklyn native chronicles his successful stage and screen career, including his rise to fame and his portrayal of Billy Martin. It's all new Center Stage Wednesday at 11, only on Yes.
Good New York actor, good actor in general. Little guys into the game, 1-0. Hope you're into it as well. We thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us as the captain digs in. He's 0 for 2, 9 hits away from 3,000. Derek is grounded to third and struck out. Fouled away.
I would think, and I'm just throwing this out there, that Derek is going to have a tough time if he throws an 0 for anytime during this homestand. He at least has to throw a hit out and then have 1 or 2 big days, and I think it'll be his 3,000 hit. So we gotta force the rule out here that Derek Jeter needs to get hit at least 1 hit every day.
Well, there's 2 ways for Yankee fans to root, and it's kind of an awkward way. You root that he gets it, that he gets a lot of these hits, or he has a terrible homestand.
Road trip.
So that the road trip, those 6 games, there's no way he's going to get his hit then. But he's already picked up 5 of the hits, so he's not having a terrible homestand. That one is drilled deep to right field. Giving chase Chu. He makes the play, taking a hit away from Jeter.
Well, we talked about Chu's all-around ability, and one of those abilities is to be able to field his position and also throw the ball back in when he gets the ball. But he ran this one down. When off the bat, it looked like it had a chance to hit for the corner, be an extra base hit. Up, out over the plate. Derek puts good stroke on it, and the ball's kind of slicing away from Chu, but he's got good speed. And he has it measured and makes a nice running catch in the corner. Good ball player.
Solid. I mean, you just look at what he does, and as a weakness, you don't, you can't see any really.
Well, the weakness is this year he's not hitting.
Yeah,
that's the weakness. Not the way he has in the past.
There's the 0-1. Shows bunt. Check this out. Check this out, Paul. So the ball's hit to right field. This kid runs out there as the ball's being out there with that Warrior sign.
It's awesome. Where is it? That's what bring him up here. Yeah.
You got to go out there.
I don't know how to get there. Never been out there
there
before.
He is.
Kim Jones, she's got a report today. Don't send her out there. Huh?
With your autograph?
Yeah. I'm going to sign. We need a runner. I'll sign something and see if we can get it out to him.
Somebody get Kim an umbrella.
Kim is not going out there. I won't even allow it.
Mike, will you go?
I'll go, yeah. Give me time not to talk. That one's drilled deep to right field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is gone. See ya. A long home run for Granderson. His 20th of the year. And the Yankees lead 2-0.
Jose Bautista has company. He's now tied with Curtis Granderson. Bautista hadn't hit a home run since May the 28th. And it's cooled off, and now Granderson and he are tied with 20 apiece.
I'll tell you, this is his third in the homestand. I mean, Curtis Granderson's got that stroke working again.
This is almost in the same area where he hit the one last night. Wow, nice catch by that fan too.
Got 1-1 to Teixeira. So you going to sign something, Paul? Send somebody out there?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to get a runner to run it out there. Granderson and Bautista now atop the major league board in home runs.
Well, we really should just send Michael's autograph out there.
Yeah. You want to see disappointment on the Coors Light freeze cam?
Yeah. we got the slow, but we got everything.
We'll get it in Yes-Mo when you hand mine to what?
And then turn it over and you have your autograph.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we're sending one your way.
This could really start something big, though.
Oh, yeah. Cell phones are so great. The 2-2. High drive. Right field. Chew back. On the track. The wind takes it. For the second out.
Normal day, that might have got out of here.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, homered his last time up. So Talbot has pitched well, but he knows he's in a duel with a guy who's not giving up runs. Now Alex gets hit, and Talbot's thrown out of the game. Talbot gets thrown out of the game, and he's pointing to the mound and said, hey, the mound is wet, and I took a misstep. So the home plate umpire, Dan Iasoni, said, I've seen enough of this, and he throws out Talbot.
You know what? You can tell, I said last night by the reaction, and as bad as this looks, Talbot, this looked like it actually got away.
Yeah.
Carmona last night, there was no doubt in my mind, but again, we'll watch the replay. And the reaction tells a lot on a pitcher.
He says he slipped, and on a wet day today, that could happen.
It looked like he slipped.
Well, he looks down at the mound.
I don't know. You think he slipped?
Well,
It looked a little funky, but again, it just looks bad because Alex hit a long home run. It's. And you see the umpire. I don't care. These teams have been warned.
But the weird part is, Paul, they were warned yesterday. I don't think they were warned before the game unless they did issue a warning before the game. We didn't know about it. So Talbot gets thrown out of the game.
You know, a lot of times you get hit in the muscle of the leg. That looks closer to the hip, and you see that's a painful place to take it.
Now the umpires just sent a warning. Remember, there's 2 more games in this series. So they're warning just about all the pitchers from this point on to be careful. But there is you got to be able to pitch inside, though. You know?
Yeah.
He's going to come out of the game. That's the last thing the Yankees need. So Alex is coming out of the game. Team that's been besieged by injuries. Now they lose Alex Rodriguez after he gets plunked. Now there's nobody that's coming out right now. Maybe he's just going down for quick treatment with Steve Donahue.
Yeah, because it's going to take a while for the next pitcher to get ready.
So let's refrain from saying that he's out of the game, but he has walked into the Yankee clubhouse. Maybe they'll put a pad on it, I'm not sure. But the Indians now will have as much time as they need to get a pitcher ready.
I don't understand why Perez just doesn't come to the mound and warm up. I mean, why warm up in the bullpen when the mound in the field could be a little different?
Now, is Manny Acta gone too because he was thrown out, or is that only after a warning?
No, only after the warning. But I think Manny's still in the game.
All right, so Rafael Perez will come in, but he has all the time he needs to warm up. So we'll take a quick break. It'll be Perez against Cano with a runner on first.
Mark Teixeira after everybody celebrated. Fausto Carmona didn't. He hits Mark Teixeira just near the 5 in the back. Teixeira, of course, is all upset. That got things going on both sides. The teams came on the field, including the managers, who got heated with each other. You see Joe Girardi and Manny Acton going at it. And here's today. Granderson hits a home run. Now Teixeira hits another ball pretty well, and it's a fly out. After Granderson's homer, his 20th of the year. And after one out, and then A-Rod comes to the plate as we watch Granderson's home run. And here's the pitch to Talbot. Maybe he's a pretty good actor. He says he slipped on the mound. A-Rod's hitting the thigh with the pitch. And Dan Iasoni, the home plate umpire, does not hesitate. You are gone. And he doesn't want to hear any excuses. Manny Acta pleading the case. But this plea is going to go. Well, the plea is not heard. He's going to lose a pitcher, has to go to his bullpen.
Yeah, Talbot's case, I mean, you look at what's going on. I mean, last night Carmona was frustrated from the first inning, had no control. Talbot's in this game. I mean, it's 2-0. He's thrown the ball well. Sure, he's given up a couple home runs. Just not as obvious today as it was to me last night.
But I really think this is just a warning for the remainder of this series, just to calm everybody down. We're not going to take any more of this mess. If somebody gets hit and we think it's anywhere near intentional, you are out of the ball game, even if it's not.
Right.
It just looks bad.
Well, also, let's keep score here on this homestand.
Yeah.
7 Yankees have been hit.
Yeah.
Right.
And 1 has been hit by a Yankee pitcher. So Alex looks like he's going to stay in the game. And by the way, I know obviously people right away would go, well, he had hip surgery. That's not good. The hip surgery was on the right side, and he got hit on the left side. And the other night against Beckett, he also got hit on the left side. So it's not the same side as the surgery, but obviously it still hurts. At some point, whether you do it on purpose or not, the pitcher has to be able to control his pitches. And we keep coming back to the whole Tony La Russa edict. I don't care if it's on purpose. You're going to hit my guy. I'm going to hit 2 of yours. But now the Yankees can't retaliate today because the bullet's out of their chamber. Both benches have been warned. So if a Yankee pitcher will hit the Indians on purpose, they're going to get thrown out. Girardi will get thrown out.
Yeah. One of the byproducts of a team hitting a lot of home runs is some of your hitters get hit.
Yeah.
That's. But the Yankees by far lead the majors in home. They're coming up on 100 home runs already, and we're basically just a little bit more than a third of the way through the season.
So the only thing, I was thinking more about what you say because you brought up Tony La Russa a lot. And, it seems like here I'm going to be a tough manager by using my players. Now, say the Cardinals hit somebody in the first inning, unintentional,
right?
And they're playing the Reds. Now the Reds go drill 2 guys. Is he going to take that? 2 for 1? Does it work both ways?
That's a good question.
You know what? I don't think it would get to that point. There's been a warning before that.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
No, but what Paul's saying is just one guy gets hit in the first inning by accident. A Cardinal or a Red. A Cardinal pitcher hits a Red. Does that mean the Reds get to take 2 shots?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a silly way to go about the game. I mean, I understand and I loved it when managers, believe me, have a pulse on the game on what's intentional and what's not intentional. And you saw Joe Girardi's reaction last night, and you see his reaction today. As bad as that looked, I still don't think today's was just the game situation. You've got a kid out there who's been pitching pretty well. A 2-0 game. It's just, again, I agree with you. The umpires are not going to let this series get out of hand.
Let me throw this at you guys, and, just thinking out loud. Obviously, you have as much time to warm up if somebody gets injured. Now, you just did something wrong. That's why you got thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't the D be penalized and have the guy just throw 8 warm-up pitches and go?
Because he can hurt himself.
That's you're talking about injuries there.
So Alex is back out there. He just went inside, I guess, for some treatment, or maybe to sit down on a couch. And now here's Rafael Perez.
But you know what, Michael? Some of your point, though, I remember what is the ruling when you have to replace an everyday player and you go out and try to hurry up and throw a couple balls on they won't let you do it.
Yeah.
Pitchers are a little different, though.
Yeah.
But it is a little strange.
Different.
This is a short reliever. He took a long time to warm up. He would warm up quicker than that. Or they throw a ball past Santana.
Now they're really trying to get him.
Trying to hit him again. This is going to go as an E1. Santana's looking for.
He picked off Santana.
Picked off A-Rod and C.B. Buckner. Buckner's looking for the ball.
Buckner's looking like he's going to charge the mound first. Then he figured out he better find the ball.
A little inexperience on Santana's part. We talked about this is only his 12th start at first base.
Well, Keystone Cops there.
E1.
Second error by the Indians. So now that puts the runner in scoring position for Cano. There's a strike.
You know, remember Bill Gullickson talking about Montreal? He came over to Cincinnati, and he was pretty good at it. He liked to show people that he would hit people. You know what he would do? He'd hit people with sliders, because umpires don't ever consider a slider an intentional. You know, a slider hurts is just as much as a fastball, but it's in the right spot. I'll tell you that right now. So I mean, doesn't it make sense? Yeah, he used to tell me. I was like, oh, you got that? Yeah, I hit him with a slider. The umpire doesn't suspect anything.
Interesting.
He was a good pitcher. He's another one of those on the exposed list of good pitchers. When the strike came in 1994, the Expos were actually in first place, and the Yankees were in first place in the American League. And the feeling in Montreal was that we're finally going to get to a World Series, and not only that, we're going to get the Yankees. Right. And then the strike came, and the fans there were really turned off, and they never really turned out again. And eventually, the Expos had to move.
A lot of teasing went on when John Wetland came over here, because he was on that Expos team.
Yeah, he was. He was having a great year, too.
We were all saying, you know, we would have smoked you anyway, so don't worry about it.
1-2. Popped up. The wind will take this. And the catch is made by Brantley for the final out. So another interesting inning between the Yankees and the Indians. 1 run on the Granderson home run. 1 hit batter. 1 man left. Two 2-0 on the Cadillac scoreboard, and we go right out to right field where Kimberly Jones is going to make someone's day.
I am indeed. Michael, Paul, and Kenny. This is my friend Glenn Dame. He's 24 years old from Albany, New York. He wants a Paul O'Neill autograph. Glenn, I got a Paul O'Neill signed ball for you.
Don't throw it on the field.
Thank you.
Kim, tell him not to throw that one on the field.
Paul doesn't want you to throw it on the field, okay?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why do you like Paul so much?
Just the way he played the game. I played the game the same way. He was hard, he was emotional, and I love it.
Kim, tell him the
Yankees could be up
truth.
10-2. Paul O'Neill struck out. He was still in the dugout kicking the Gatorade bottle. I love it.
Struck out. Come on.
He loved your strikeouts, Paul.
Yeah, take that ball back. I didn't strike out.
He played the game. I didn't love it when he struck out.
All right, man.
Michael, he told Glenn and his girlfriend, Katie, are here, and Glenn told me that he was thrilled Paul's working every day of this homestand because he had tickets for today and tomorrow. So he'll be back tomorrow too.
Tell Glenn that Paul's not that thrilled.
You know, I just want to let you on a little thing. I heard it's better to be a trick pony than a plow horse. You know that? Here I'm in the middle of a long homestand now.
As Santana goes down on strikes. Well, tell Glenn we saw his sign and we tried to do it up for him. So Paul signed that ball, Kim.
That's right, Glenn. We saw the sign, we loved it, and you got a ball out of it. Pretty good deal, huh?
Fantastic. I was a little disappointed that Jeter wasn't going to be going for 3,000 this weekend. That's when I bought these tickets. And when I heard Michael Kay messing with Paul a couple days ago about Paul, trying to stick it out for this entire homestand, I knew I was making this sign.
We like Glenn. Glenn, Katie, thanks so much. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Thanks, Kim. So the kid's 23. He was 12 when you stopped playing.
Really? See, that's the same thing my wife used to say. The kids are watching. What is wrong with you?
Little Glenn loved you, though.
Yeah.
Kim's, by the way, Paul, Kim's getting the $75 for that autograph.
It's impressive, though. She goes out in the rain. She's just a gamer. Does everything we need.
So he was in Little League when you finished playing.
No. Yeah.
Now he's able to drive to the game.
Right.
The 1-2. Fouled away. And now, cell phone bill goes up.
This right now. I mean, this is something they're going to remember forever. He's hope somebody's DVRing this. And this is where we see Colon come in with that spillover fastball with 2 strikes to the lefties and might give up on it. Let's see. They've probably seen it enough. They know what's coming. Can they do anything about it?
Grounded to first. Nice play by Teixeira. And it looks like Colon got hurt. Wow. Covering the bag, and he pulled up lane. Not exactly what the Yankees needed, so Joe Girardi and Gene Monahan will run out to Colon. Right there.
Yeah, busting it off the mound to cover first base, and oh man!
I tell you, just hold your breath. I mean, you can't say enough about the way he's throwing the ball the last couple times out, basically all year. The last thing you want to see right now is Colon go down with an injury.
You're just hoping it's a cramp, but you can't take any chances. No.
No, he wants to throw, and G. Monahan said, no, let's go. This guy's too important to this team. And he pulled up covering first base.
It's either two things. It's a hamstring, a calf, or possibly an ankle, but none of them sound good.
Yankees short on pitching the way it is right now. And they lose Colon here with 2 outs in the 7th inning when he is pitching an absolute gem, allowing just 2 hits. So 6 2/3 shutout innings for Bartolo Colon. He can hardly get down the steps. And his day is over, and the Yankees have to cross their fingers that they don't lose him for a while. That's a shame the way he was pitching today. You can see Kenny, he's just having trouble negotiating walking right now.
Right now, at this point, it doesn't look good. Here's another look at it. He went to the 2-seam fastball. Chu pulls it on the ground, almost had himself a hit. But then around right there, Colon, he's going to continue on and make the play. But he is certainly under duress as he touches first base. And here's the last bit of the play. And he's not going to be able to continue. You can just about see that right there. And I think he knows it too.
Now, you could just say right now, Kenny, well, that's all right, they go to the bullpen. But the Yankee bullpen is a huge question mark right now. So, I mean, the only thing that you'd feel safe with is Robertson for an inning and a third, and then Mariano for an inning because you saw yesterday the other guys in the bullpen are a little sketchy right now. Ayala obviously is somebody that Joe trusts as well, but he's going to bring in his second best guy, and that's David Robertson. So Robertson's going to have as much time as he needs. 2 outs, nobody on. Yankees are leading 2-0. Bartolo Colon leaves with some sort of leg injury.
Our music and computer world, and by Toyota, the official hybrid of the New York Yankees. Well, Joe Girardi's gone to the bullpen. David Robertson is warming up, and he'll have as much time as he needs to get loose. And this call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. As the rest of the Yankees have kind of gone to shelter into the dugout with the rain coming down here at the stadium. And those are the numbers on Robertson this season. This will be his 28th appearance. And the most impressive number for me is the 38 strikeouts in 23 2/3 innings. He can be a strikeout machine. Got good stuff.
Nah, it's really starting to rain here at the stadium as a lot of the fans are moving for cover. It's been a steady drizzle throughout most of the day. Now it's coming down a little bit harder. So a tough break for the Yankees with Colon, who has been really such a pleasant surprise for them. And you said this earlier, Kenny, and I think it bears repeating, and it's true. He's the second best starter they have and the most dependable. And you just hope that maybe it was a cramp. That's the only thing that could be good. If it's a cramp, you can come back and make your next start. But if it's a calf or a hamstring or a groin, then you might have some issues.
Well, Cleveland today only had one man as far as second base. That was the double by Hanahan in the 5th inning. They also had one walk. Sizemore walked in the 1st. And there was only one other base runner. Brantley had a single in the 3rd. That's how good he was. Take a look at what Colon has done and meant to the Yankees. K by K, 6 strikeouts this afternoon. Starts right away in the 1st inning. First 2 hitters of the game are gone. Then in the 3rd inning gets a strikeout. Then in the 6th inning, he gets 2 more. Then he finishes it off. Santana called down on strikes in the 7th. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk for Bartolo Colon.
2-4-0 Yanks, 2 home runs for them. And that's how they've gotten their runs. One by A-Rod, one by Granderson. Indians with 2 hits and 2 errors. Colon left the game in the 7th inning with an apparent leg injury. Talbot was ejected in the 6th inning for hitting Alex Rodriguez, one batter, after Granderson hit a home run. And as we mentioned, Granderson and Rodriguez each with solo home runs. So it's been an interesting series so far. Yesterday, some fireworks in the 2nd inning when Mark Teixeira got plunked and Joe Girardi and Manny Acta go nose to nose. And today, the long line drive home run by Alex Rodriguez and a long arcing home run by Curtis Granderson down the right field line. And the Yankees lead 2-0, and Talbot was thrown out of the game. So we've had some action on this homestand. Yankees get swept by the Red Sox.
No.
What happened, Paul?
Up on the big screen. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, my. Let's take a look at tomorrow's pitchers. Brought to you by Fios. Josh Tomlin is 7-3 with a 3.71 ERA, and Freddie Garcia 4-5, 3.86. Our coverage begins at noon on Yes, and the starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead.
Looking at those replays, Kenny, you'll notice 6 strikeouts, 6 fastballs.
Yeah.
Wasn't tricking anybody, just had good enough stuff that you could tell you what's coming. Yeah. That front door cutter to the lefties, or a 4-seamer on the outside corner. Absolutely dominating with a 1 pitch today.
Well, when Perez came in to replace Talbot, the delay was 10:24. And right now, with Robertson replacing the injured Colon, we're at 9 at this moment So when he finally throws the pitch, it might be about equal. He will face Laporta. And in the Yankee formula, what they want here, Robertson gets this out, stays around, pitches a 1-2-3/8, and hands it off to Mariano. So you've got 20 minutes of delays because of pitching changes, and the game is still flying along at this point. It's just 10 minutes after 3.
Good pitching to do. Not a lot of base runners. Runs are scored on home runs. Cologne was just awesome. He was putting a clinic out to a 2-seamer and a 4-seam fastball. I can remember one slider he threw for a ball.
That's the only one I can remember too.
I mean, that's unheard of.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Robertson.
I made the point last night that, you know, Robertson came in and Joe got him out of there in case you're going to need him today, and good thing he did, because you figure the way Cologne's throwing, he's got a complete game or he's going to go straight to Mariano. You've got to dip in there a little deeper.
Driven out to right field and deep. Going back is Swisher, and he's going to have to play it off the wall. Plays it nicely off the wall, and he's going to hold Laporta to a single. Nice play by Nick Swisher.
Was a nice play. I mean, he got back. The ball beat him to the wall, but as soon as you know the ball's going to beat you, you've got to try to play that carom. He got a good one. Right to his throwing hand. Got it in immediately.
You ever go to highlight in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like a highlight player. Off the wall, get it back in.
I don't know if I could catch the ball with those big long things that they carry.
It was Cessna.
Cessna? Is that what they call
Cessna.
Cessna, yeah. Cessna's an airplane.
Yep.
Those are nice, too.
Yeah.
Here's Cord Phelps. And there's a strike.
Michael's been the highlight.
I like highlight. Yeah. I don't like losing, but I like to watch it. Those guys are some athletes.
You know what, though? If you don't go very right, how are you supposed to know who the best guys are?
Big numbers.
Good breaking.
I never understood. I mean, everybody gets into the horses, and so how do you do that? What do you ask the horse? I mean, how do you feel today? You gonna run a good race? I mean, it's so amazing to me that people are good at it.
Robertson's good at pitching as he strikes out Cord Phelps, and that'll do it here in the 7th. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 6.5 time for the 7th inning stretch, Yankees lead the Indians 2-0, but we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now joining Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
To
It's the Joe Girardi Show as the skipper looks ahead to the Yankees series in his hometown, Chicago. Plus his memories of the first time visiting Wrigley Field as a fan and stepping onto the field as a player. It's a new Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 5, only on Yes.
All right, here we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. As the fans celebrate, the Yankees are a Yankee lead at this point, 2-0.
You know what's weird, Kenny?
Yeah.
Here's a guy that I used to, play with, and now I'm reading promos about his television show. It's kind of strange. Joe Girardi.
On our Cadillac scoreboard, you saw the Yankees leading 2-0.
Here's Jack, or should I say Nick Swisher, against Rafael Perez. And one thing that we want to tell everybody, and this is kind of true, that young man out in right field had the thought process to hold the sign up, and as a goof we send him out.
Yeah.
So when 40,000 people tomorrow
ask for a Michael K. ball
or Paul O'Neill or Kent Single, it's not going to happen. We just did it today, so don't take the lead from that young man. It's not happening because O'Neill's going to be charging.
It's all in a day's fun at the ballpark. Huh?
Absolutely. And it's amazing though. What was the kid's name? Glenn. Okay. He didn't like that I was picking on you about. You pick on me 8 out of every 9 innings, and he took offense that I got back at you once.
I got guys, on my back. Frank and Mayer, they don't like it either.
You going out with Frank and Mayer tonight?
That's right. Tonight's a big night. My favorite restaurant out there too. One of them at least. There's so many favorites in New York.
Frank and Mary are Paul's real good friends in Westchester.
A lot of good people in Westchester.
You know what's unbelievable, Kenny? Every time he does a series, I'm going out with Frank and Mary. You think he'd ask Mike and Jody to go along, but no. Kenny and Suzanne, but no.
You know why? It's because we're like out there. You're on your way to the Hamptons or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to forget about the game tomorrow. There's Vinny Pestano.
Sounds like the dinner we're going to have tonight, doesn't it? Pestano.
Three-two. Line drive, base hit. Swisher with a single. His first hit of the night.
This is kind of typical for Nick Swisher. He's hit well right-handed all season long. Left-handed, it's very difficult for him to come up with a hit. He's 0 for 2 lefty today. And first time up righty, he just drills one in the left field for a base hit. Gets a fastball up in the zone, gets on top of it, and lines it. Up to Michael Brantley in left.
You're telling me Nick Swisher's looking for some left-hander starters to come walking in the Yankee Stadium.
Well, either that
tune him up a little bit.
He's hitting well over 300 right-handed and hitting 173 left-handed starting today.
I mean, these are numbers. A lot of the numbers you throw out there, the players really don't keep track of. But that's one that Nick Swisher knows, that he's not swinging the bat as well from the left side.
Posada runs one over the leaping Triumph Santana. Down the right field line. Swisher will go to third. The ball misplayed by Chu. Here comes Swisher. He will score. Yankees lead 3-0. We'll see how they score it.
It's funny. We've seen this play a lot. The carom of the ball, whether as a right fielder, Chu gets over there and probably thinks it's going to come out to him. And again, just like it happened the other night, this ball possibly could have been caught, but nope, over his glove.
Look at Swish checking it out. Oh, I can run now.
You wait for that ball to come out, and it just hugs the wall. Once you're there, that's a triple and an RBI or a double in George's case, sir.
Wow, they just scored that a single.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's a carom. That's a wall that did that. The other day they scored Jed Lowry's a triple So it's just all they got. Posada picked off, and he gets tagged out.
Let's go back to Jorge's at bat because we won't talk about his base running because he's swinging the bat so well, right?
Well, the reason why he got picked off of there because Gardner bunted through the ball. You know, you're trying to get a good jump, and you start leaning towards the next base, and all of a sudden the hitter doesn't make contact. You kind of hung out to dry.
And this is a play that catchers know too, because if you do bunt through it, the tendency for the runner is to lean out there and get a good jump. Bad feeling when you're the runner, believe me.
All right, let's help you with the scoring. Posada had a single. Swisher scored on the E9. That's a picked off, and you score that 2-6. So Posada does not get an RBI, but he did pick up another hit. And now there's one out and a 1-1 count on Gardner. The 0-2. Grounded to second. Phelps. And a nice scoop there by Santana for the second out.
We've seen a lot of weird stuff in this game for a 3-0 game. Nice play on the other end. Phelps comes up with it, throws it into dirt, and Santana. Well, he's playing first base like a seasoned veteran outside of not taking that pickoff throw. Scoops that one out of the dirt neatly.
Three 3-0 Yankees. Here's Cervelli. And Morrison wants to have a little bit of a chat.
Pitcher thrown out of the ball game for hitting a batter, although he claimed he slipped on the mound, which could have happened on a day like today. Unfortunately for the Yankees, they had Bartolo Colon injured, trying to cover first base. He had to leave a game in which he was pitching an absolute gem. Seen a couple of home runs, two different types, a line drive homer to, you know, a high fly ball, gone to right field.
Now Bartolo Colon gets hurt, and you hope that he doesn't go on the DL, but it certainly didn't look promising as he limped off the field. Phil Hughes will make a rehab start on Tuesday. They're not going to push him, though.
No.
They expect him to be ready to go sometime in July if there are no setbacks. We've got kids like Phelps and Warren down there that are starting. You might see them. Carlos Silva is at Scranton Wilkes-Barre as well. So the Yankees have some options to go in terms of the starters. But they don't have to make that decision until the Rangers are in town. And that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Colon would start on Thursday. Popped up. Chu. Wow. Makes the play for the final out of the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left. We played 7, 3-0 Yanks. these players do you think is the best shortstop under the age of 30? You've been texting us at 58772, and here is how you voted. 37% say it's Troy Tulowitzki, 41% say it's Jose Reyes. So it's close, and Reyes is having such a great season, so he's the flavor of this year, and 41% say Jose Reyes.
You know what? They're going to get a look at Starlin Castro of the Cubs coming up.
We just get word on Bartolo Colon. He has a strained, that's ST as in Tommy, strained left hamstring. What that means, how long he's going to be out, we have no idea.
That's his landing leg, and that's not good for a pitcher, because that's where you extend and that's where you land. So strained muscles for a pitcher, not a good thing.
David Robertson warming up, and there's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. It's situated in center field. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game.
People must being used to be on TV out there now, because remember in a few years ago, every time we showed it, they'd scream and yell and jump up.
Watch, they will. That's in the Great Hall.
Come on, folks. Come on.
There's a 4-second delay. Now they'll go nuts.
There's one. Oh no, he's selling the program.
There we go. Hi, smart enough to know where the camera is. Very nice. Well, today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Bartolo Colon, number 2, Alex Rodriguez, number 3, Curtis Granderson, and number 4, Nick Swisher. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard messaging rates apply.
You're pulling your phone out, Kenny. You can text right in, right? Pretty easy one today, right?
Now, I like Nick Swisher as much as the next guy, but how did he get on that list?
Well,
he scored one of the 3 runs?
There hasn't been much offensively. He had the 2 home runs. And then, Colon, I mean, he's absolutely dealing on the mound. I mean, they could have thrown you and I up there on the 4 spot.
Well, you made somebody's day today, so yeah, you should have been up there. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Indians. On the Hyundai scoreboard, Tribe is trailing 3-0. Count 1-1. Wind whipping up. You can hear it against our microphones, blowing straight in. The flags above the grandstand starched straight out toward home plate. There's a base hit to left field off the bat of Hanahan. It was 2 for 3. Voting now open for the 2011 All-Star Game in Phoenix. Help send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star Game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Cast your ballot right now for your 2011 All-Stars. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Yankees.com. You know, once you have the internet voting, then the team that has the most tech-savvy fans will get the ones that will get the most votes. You have different screen names. You get 25 votes for each screen name. Here's Lou Morrison. There's a strike. Morrison struck out looking and grounded to second.
Michael, you grew up kind of in the same year I did, so do you remember that? I mean, how neat the All-Star Game was back then, because a lot of the players you would never see because the games weren't televised. So on the All-Star Game, you got to see the players you heard about but never really saw.
I agree. I used to be so pumped up for the All-Star Game, and they've tried to make it more important now, and it's punched to right field because of the situation with the home field advantage. But I don't think it has the same vibe as it used to. Morrison picks up a single.
Ball out over the plate, and he's hit the ball well that way his previous time.
You know, you've seen some balls ever since Colon's left the game, some balls hit hard, some better swings, and again, it just tells you that how dominant Cologne was today, because all of a sudden it's not a coincidence that the bats are starting to come alive as soon as he leaves the game. This is a big outing for Robertson to come into a close game. Try to get to Mariano in the ninth.
3-0 Yankees. 2 home runs and a run scoring on an E9. That's the extent of the offense in this game. But the Indians threatening now. First and second, nobody out. Top of the lineup, Michael Brantley. And a strike. 95 miles an hour. Boone Logan beginning to throw.
Take a look at the last pitch. Now, Cervelli's targets to the outside corner, but it's about thigh high. I don't know if Brantley was looking for something else. It looked like a pretty good pitch to swing at. Yeah.
Tough one. That ball actually had a lot of play. It's a tough one to take right there. That's what he was looking for, I think. And you saw strike 195 and then strike 2. The hitter's mind, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, he has a curveball. Next thing you know, you kind of freeze on that fastball. Still 0-2 after he fouled that one off. One of those pitches where the catcher kind of sets up outside and kind of reaches across the plate, but you know, as a hitter, ball right there, it's pretty tough to take with 2 strikes.
Foul away.
He is 6. Wow.
I think Robertson's added a few more miles per hour in the last few years. I mean, he's always had that good breaking ball, but he's got a little more power behind it now. And sometimes you refine your mechanics and really have get all your body into it. That'll jump you up a few MPHs.
Talked about it a lot, and I always found a huge difference between like 93, then you get to 95 and above. It's unbelievable how much a difference it is, and you know, a guy can pick up a couple miles an hour to go from 89 to 91. Who cares? But you get 93 to 95, 96, you're in a total different league in pitching.
As a hitter, you really got to turn it up a notch.
Yep.
One pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out.
He was one pitch away. I mean, he got ahead with his fastball, and he was one good curveball from getting out of this at bat with probably a strikeout, but he hasn't been able to throw his best curveball in this count.
Yeah, remember the count was 0-2 at one time.
Yep. A-Rod wants to talk with Robertson, and Cervelli jogs out.
Brantley's had a good month of June. This guy's been one of their better hitters. He's hitting 11 of his last 14 games now with the hit today.
Strike 3. Brantley down looking. 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner.
You see Cervelli setting up out there, had to reach for it a little bit, but it was certainly close enough. Just off the corner, but 3-2, tough pitch to take.
Rain continuing to fall here at the stadium. It's been that way most of the day. Certainly not coming down hard enough to stop action. This dangerous as Jubal Cabrera, who's 0 for 3 today. There's a strike. Cabrera struck out, grounded to first, and struck out looking.
Michael, we officially have a wave at the new Yankee Stadium. I don't know that I've seen a wave since I've been in this new ballpark.
We've had a couple.
We've got it going on today.
When you have this much water, they're usually waves. The 0-1.
1-1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Balk. That is a big balk as the runners will move up.
And it effectively takes away a ground ball double play.
They said he did not stop. Let's see if he did.
Yeah, he did balk. You saw his right hand move. Both up our second base. You can't see his hand there, but on the center field shot, you can see his right hand move and then stop.
Yankees will play the infield back. They'll give up that run on the ground ball. 1-1. Nice pitch.
He started the count off with a curveball right on the outside corner, and then he ate him up with a curveball right in on his hands. And we're talking about a guy who's a pretty good hitter. These are two quality pitches. The ball right there comes in off the plate. Tough pitch. Fastball here. No.
Now Robertson's been great all year, but now with this added responsibility, one thing that he's going to have to try to do is pitch more efficiently, because he throws too many pitches and he walks too many people, and he knows that. He doesn't have to be perfect with his stuff, because if he's going to have high pitch counts, it's going to be difficult to pitch him on back-to-back days. He's got to get his work done with a lot more efficiency. I mean, the outcome's always very good, but if you've got 33 pitches an outing, that's not good. 1-2. Strike 3. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
So really mixing up his pitches well. He saw two curveballs for strikes, and then a put away with kind of a backwards way of doing it with a fastball. But their hitters looking one thing and throwing the other.
We've seen some takes from the Cleveland hitters here. Brantley took a pitch that looked pretty good to hit. With 2 strikes, you certainly got to make a pass at that one. It's almost like he's looking for a curveball and has a fastball blown by him, right?
I was almost saying you're looking at a team that might be a lot of guess hitters, guys that sit on certain pitches. Very hard way to hit when you have 2 strikes, especially.
And runners in scoring position, period.
Here's Brady Sizemore. Count 1-0.
Huge at bat. 2 outs, got an opportunity to get out of this inning without giving up a run. Base hit puts them right back in the game. So these are the big outs that Robertson is going to have to do well in.
.26 pitches, 20 strikes. Now Boone Logan is up, and if you're not bringing him Boone here, then you're not bringing him in. He feels a lot more comfortable with Robertson. We go lefty-lefty against Sizemore. That's why you figured he was up. Pitch is outside.
I don't know, Kenny. I mean, I think you have to remind yourself you can't really give in here, but can you really pitch around a guy if you're not comfortable to put the winning run at the plate?
Yeah, I don't think I want to see Santana till next inning.
See, Kenny, I'm sure you'll agree. I mean, first pitch, same pitch as the third pitch, and one's a strike, one's a ball. That's one that frustrates you as a hitter. Ball's off the plate a little bit. Good for Robertson, bad for Sizemore.
Good job of receiving it by Cervelli. Seemed to kind of just deftly move the glove back towards the corner. Got a few of those calls this inning.
2-1. Now 2-2. 2 for 14 this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. There's Paul's buddy.
He was my buddy until he told me he liked it when I struck out. I don't know if I like him anymore.
He liked how you acted when you struck out. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. David Robertson hops off the mound, strikes out the side, and works out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Robertson with a rare show of emotion as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Pumped up, you think? Deck presented by Blimpie. The Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team trades in their skates for cleats and hangs out with Phil Hughes at Steinbrenner Field. Plus, training tips from Mark Teixeira. Yankees on deck, all new tomorrow at noon, only on Yes. So Robertson strikes out the side with 2 runners on and nobody out. So he pitches a strong inning and a third. And now the Indians turn to their third pitcher, Vinny Pestano.
Impressive numbers. I mean, innings 21 hits, 11 strikeouts, 27.
Ooh. Young man out of Cal State Fullerton.
Young man out of Panama.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Derek searching for his first base hit of the day. He's 0 for 3, grounded to third, struck out, and flied out to right. Derek 9 hits away from 3,000. Hyundai scoreboard 3-6-0 Yanks, 0-5-3 Indians. 2.
He's got a little funky motion for right-handed hitters.
Crossfire there for the righties.
Way outside. 1-2. It'll be Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira here in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Yankees trying to win their 2nd in a row, and they also see up on the board top of the 7th inning Boston beating up Toronto 13-4.
Boston offensively just on the roll, and you can see it here. And it's just they took it right up to Toronto with them.
After the long rain delay on Thursday, they got into Toronto very late or very early, whichever is your view, and it hasn't affected them at all. Yesterday they won, and we're on the way to winning again today. In fact, this would be their 8th win in a row. Strike 3, Jeter down looking. And Jeter taking the 0-4 that Paul said you want to avoid if you're trying to get that 3,000 hit at home. He's 0-for-4.
We saw the performance of David Robertson after 2 hits. He struck out 3 hitters in a row, including Grady Sizemore. Missed with a breaking ball to start him off. Just outside for ball. Now he fights his way back. Gets a call. Looked like the same pitch. Breaking ball's fouled off, even a count of 2-2. Curveball swung on it. Missed, strike 3. He's got a great hook.
Granderson fouls it away.
So for Robertson, he's been in there an inning and a third. Every out he's gotten has been a strikeout.
I'll tell you what, I'm watching this Pistano, and you can see why he's tough on righties. You can see he's been painting it. It's interesting how he's going to go about lefties, and you see he still can control that inside corner on lefties too.
Curtis hit his 20th home run of the year, a solo shot in the 6th inning, and he is now tied for the major league lead with 20 home runs. Tied with Jose Bautista. Let's take a look at that home run on the IOTV HD Super Shot.
See, he gets the bat head out, and you watch, he doesn't even get it on the barrel. Gets jammed a little bit, but he gets total extension. And when you pull it, you don't have to get it all in this ballpark.
2-1 is lined into center field. Sizemore for the 2nd out.
He might actually hit that one harder than the homer.
Yeah, but you see some good outfielders are having a lot of trouble with balls today. You saw 2 earlier with a fly ball. Grady Sizemore kind of fighting the wind out there. Ball like knuckles at you.
It's been a good day to be a DH. Here we are in Yesmo. Grady Sizemore. A couple steps. And into the leather.
There's Mark Teixeira. Pitches inside. They've shifted for him, as they usually do. 3 infielders on the right side. Teixeira's walked, fouled out to the 3rd baseman, and flied out to right. Two 2-0.
That's one thing the infielders are taught at a young age. If the pitcher misses the ball, the infielders have to get it.
I was just going to say something about them. It's like they're butlers out there. The pitcher can't walk 10 feet. The infielder's got to run 100.
This goes all the way back to Little League.
Wow. Drilled to right field. That ball is gone. See ya. A laser shot into the lower deck and right. Teixeira's trying to keep pace. That's his 19th home run and a 4-0 Yankee lead.
You know what, Kenny? He got a new baseball, and it lasted in the ballpark for 1 pitch. Teixeira had time to adjust, get in there, and look for a fastball right out over the plate.
You know, we talk about occasionally where Mantle and Maris were in 1961 on this day with their home runs. This is basically what the fans were getting back in 1961. Although here in 2011, it's Granderson and Teixeira. Almost on a daily basis, one or the other, or sometimes both go deep.
And if you're wondering where Mantle and Maris were on this date, Maris had 20, Mantle had 18, Granderson has 20, and now Teixeira has 19.
Wow. Maris, of course, ended up with 61, and Mantle missed, I think, the last 9 or 10 games with an injured hip. Ended up with 54 home runs that year. What a great summer. You know, in those days, there was no ESPN, there was no highlight shows, no, you know, basically you had to check the paper the next day to see, or watch the game on TV to see what they had done.
It's funny when I think about picking up the box score, I think about the summer that Pete Rose was he had a 40-some game hitting streak. And at about the 30s, where it started become news, I would run out and get the paper every day and check the box score to see if he got hits. Those days are over. You immediately go on the computer or something.
Alex Rodriguez strikes out, but the Yankees get an insurance run as Mark Teixeira hits a laser shot over the wall and right. His 19th home run of the year will go to the 9th inning, and the Yankees will try to hold on to a 4-0 lead. Show. Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry are back in the studio to recap this game and also take a look around the rest of the majors. Plus, Kimberly Jones gets the latest from the clubhouse and the latest news on Bartolo Colon. It's all coming up after the final out right here on Yes. Well, that home run cleared the fence and Mariano sat down because a 4-0 lead means it's not a safe situation. So they'll get Boone Logan some work and hope that he pitches effectively, although Mariano's still up just in case Logan let some people on. Those are the numbers on Boone. 16 hits and 14 2/3, 7 walks, 10 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.68. And he's going to face Santana, Chu, and Laporta. Last 19 appearances for Logan, 16 of them he's held his opponent scoreless. Now, that's somewhat of a sketchy stat because sometimes he comes in with runners on base and he doesn't get a run charged to him. Like the day he came in against the Red Sox and he couldn't get the lefties out. But this is his own inning, so let's see if he can make it 17 of 20 as he deals a strike to Santana. High fly ball, left field. Gardner will put it away for the first out. Now to remember, everybody, tomorrow afternoon the Yankees and the Indians battle in a Sunday matinee right here at the stadium. Coverage will start at 12:30 with the Tri-State Port pregame. And Paul, Ken, and I are back here to bring you all the action. Indians, Yankees, it all starts tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Yes. far in this series, the Yankees have shut down Chu. 0 for 3 yesterday with 2 walks. He's 0 for 3 today. In fact, he's 0 for his last 10, dating back to the homestand. Strike by Logan. This is an at-bat that Joe's going to watch closely, because this is what Logan has to do, is get out left-handers. Fouled away to count 1-2.
Yeah, Chu's hitting left-handed pitching at a 205 clip this year. Eduardo Nunez taking over at third base. Alex Rodriguez probably has a nice pack on its thigh where he got hit by a pitch.
Still 1-2. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 5 hits, and 3 errors for the Indians. Luis Ayala warming for the Yanks. Strike 3. Chu down lefty. He's 0 for 4. And the Yankees are 1 out away from a win.
Best breaking ball of the count. He got ahead. Everything was away, but then he buckled in with a breaking ball right at him and up over the middle half.
Chu becomes the 11th Indian to strike out today. 1 little, 2 little.
Here's Matt Laporta. And a strike. Logan working quickly and effectively. And the 0-1. This should do it. Popped up. Teixeira will call everybody off, make the play, and the Yankees win. And you put this one on the left side. Beautiful outing by Bartolo Colon, but the enthusiasm has to be somewhat tempered, with Colon leaving with a strained left hamstring. Another home run for Granderson, his 20th of the year, 19th for Mark Teixeira, and Alex Rodriguez hit his 13th of the season as the Yankees win this one 4-0, taking their 2nd straight game after dropping 3 straight to the Red Sox. So the Indians go down last night and this afternoon. You got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. So David Robertson came in, did a splendid job as he pitched an inning and a third, and he struck out all 4. And that young man got a signed Paul O'Neill baseball just because he went to arts and crafts class and made that sign. There we go. That's an autograph he got from O'Neill, and now we'll get an interview from Kimberly Jones. Kim?
That's right, Michael. I'm here with Mark Teixeira for the 2nd day in a row. Mark, let's start with the team. Joe Girardi said very late Thursday night he thought this team would bounce back well. In these 2 games, have we seen that?
Yeah, I think we have. You know, it starts with our starting pitchers. In the last 2 nights, we've gotten great outings. The offense has done just enough. I mean, last night was a big game for us, and today we just got enough runs to get the win.
Home run number 19 for you today. I want to ask you first about Granderson with number 20 on the season. He hit number 20 last year, Mark, on September 20th. What does that tell you about Curtis Granderson this year?
You know, he made some adjustments at the end of last year with Kevin Long, and I think it says a lot about the both of them willing to work. I mean, Curtis is an all-star already, and he's willing to work to get better, and it shows this year.
You can carry a team, and we're seeing big hits from you regularly now. Does that last home run there show just how good you're feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. You know, getting a lot of pitches to hit. I think that says a lot about the middle of our order really coming through. Alex and Robbie are swinging the bat well right now, and so I'm going to get some more pitches to hit.
Before I let you go, let me ask you about David Robertson and his ability to escape. How do you describe it?
He's the magician. I mean, you don't know how he does it sometimes, but he always seems to get out of those jams, and you know, he's been big for us for a long time now, and we just love seeing him do it because he gets pumped up and gets excited, and it's fun to see.
This is your spot now, Mark. Thanks so much. Michael, back to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Kim. Mark Teixeira with a home run, Curtis Granderson with 1, and Alex Rodriguez with 1 as well. And the Yankees are dancing as they win their second straight. We'll come back, give out some awards, and then the postgame with Bob, Jack, and Kim. Stick around.